Good morning. Good morning. It is it's about 2:50 a.m. 2:50 a.m. on my way to the gym right now. And the thing that came to my mind this morning was really kind of about what we're putting in orders of priority. And I'm talking about money. I'm talking about how we put such a big emphasis on money. Not so much on value, but on money. And how much of it that we have. And for as important as money is very important. Money pays the bills. Money offers you the ability to go places and do things. To have things that make you feel comfortable. Money allows, because money is a part of the exchange process. We're no longer exchanging goods. We exchange currency for whatever it is that we desire. So to be able to get our hands on things that we desire is very important. But for as important as it is, it's not the number one thing. Meaning, a whole bunch of money could fall into your lap at this very second. And not only will nothing change in your life, but things will get worse. Or you're sitting there saying, well, how is that? Well, I'll give you one reason. It fell only in your hands. See, man has a tendency to dislike or have a distaste for anything that has not happened to them. That's where we get the word hating from. People will hate you for what you have and what they do not have. So if you're not a person who likes people hating them, then maybe having this big bag of money dropped into your lap is not going to be to your benefit. So I can say with peace and with complete calmness, money isn't everything. But when it's gathered in the right way, there's a whole new level of responsibility that comes with it. But what about serving? What about offering value? This morning, something came to me to text one of my past clients. Nothing in particular whatsoever. Just to say hi, I hope you're doing well. And I've learned to be obedient when things are talking to me. Because maybe at that moment they were contemplating doing something that wouldn't have been so good. And maybe me just shooting a text message through saying, hey, hope you're doing great. It's just thinking about you. Maybe that will alter the trajectory of their life. But this particular individual, I remember working with this person, but because their estate was big, there was other people involved. There was business partners, there was other entities that I had to go through in order to get resolution on this deal. Now, I didn't mind working with the primary person. I didn't mind working with anybody, but the other ones were very demeaning. And I felt like I went far and beyond the scope of what was required of me to make sure that I got the job done, and we got the job done. But it seemed like nothing I could do whatsoever made them happy. Now, mind you, the primary person stepped back because that wasn't really their role. So they delegated that to somebody else who was, that was their position. That was their role. I got that. I understand that. There's certain things in my business I don't do. I delegate that to somebody. And the truth of the matter is this. Nothing I can do can make them happy. Nothing was going to satisfy the urge they had inside to, I'm going to say it, just be mean to me. But I got a lot of satisfaction out of being able to help them. I mean, so much that even when the check was nice, but even when I got the check, all that I had dealt with at no point did the money even seem like it was worth it. It didn't. It was not a fair exchange. The only point where there was a fair exchange is when I was giving above and beyond without any expectation of pay. Even though I knew I was going to get paid, but no expectation of even receiving a thank you. And I knew at that moment money was not as big as we make it out to be, when I would have given more for just a thank you. I was going to get the check. But the more and more I went into it, my mind was less and less attached to the outcome of pay versus the work that was being handed down. I say all that simply to say we put so much emphasis on finances that we miss the bigger picture. I think that's why we always end up, it seems like we're just cats chasing our tail. Because of what we're focused on. The money, the money, the money, the money. Okay, and now what? When you put money on such a high pedestal, there's nowhere else to go. And I was listening to something about tithing. And if you're a believer, then you know that everything that you have is from God. So if God said, I'll let you have 90, just give me the 10. But his word also says, he who I could trust with a little, I could also trust with a lot. But also tie into the fact that you won't give 10% because you don't trust God. Well, if you don't trust God with the least of things, which is money, how can you test him or trust him something even more valuable like your life. See what happens when our priorities start to get twisted up? Our perception of reality starts to get warped. Yesterday was a cool day. My kids, they get on my nerves. I say that with love. They do. They be fighting with each other, yelling and screaming. And that part I wish they would stop. That's why I have these really nice noise canceling headphones. But yesterday was a good day because I had committed a few days ago to start teaching my kids about finances and how to handle them. Because the truth of the matter is, if you know how to handle your money, you're not always going to be in such a rush or a scramble to keep making more of it. If you know how to handle your money, money no longer becomes a priority. Money is only a priority because you don't know how to handle it. It's the only reason why money is a priority. Because if you knew how to handle it, you'd have plenty of it. Even the person working at a minimum wage job with money invested correctly can manage it. Because he understands how to live within his means. And if he wants to get far ahead in life, he knows how to live below his means. But yesterday was a fun day because I started the journey of feeding my kids something that I know they need more than anything else, which is time with me. Which is learning what I know. So I took time out to read with Silas. Because I know if you can comprehend well, it's easier to learn. And reading builds comprehension. It also exercises the hand-eye coordination. And if you read out loud and you're touching a book, it actually touches on all four of your senses. Then I broke out these financial flashcards that I had purchased. I sent away for them. They came in the mail. And asked them if Sanaya would just give me a couple minutes of their time, their precious kid time, and play with these flashcards so that they could get the vocabulary of finances down. See, I know that if I teach my kids how to deal with finances, they won't put it on such a high pedestal. They'll respect it, but it won't be the end all be all, and that will allow them to focus on the things that are most important. I was listening to Creflo Dollar, and he said the biggest sign of faith is rest. I never heard anything like that, and I was like, what does that mean, dude? And I'll summarize it. Rest means that you are trusting that God is already moving on what you asked him to do. You ever seen people scrambling around? And I'm not talking about people doing their job. I'm talking about people scrambling around looking like a chicken with their head cut off. If you understand how to manage your money, you'll find that there's other things more important. It will work for itself. Just read about compound interest, the power of it. It works while you're sleeping. Residual income, passive income, works while you're sleeping. If it's working while you're sleeping, then what do you need to focus on? You need to focus on the fact of, do you know how to manage what you have? But faith, the biggest sign of faith, of your faith, is can you rest? Because when you can rest, then you're showing God that I trust you enough to not try to do it on my own, that you got this. So my concentrated effort will be towards developing my children in their reading and their understanding of financial literacy, so that they don't make the mistake of making money the priority because they don't know how to manage it. And when they know how to manage it, then it gives them time to focus on the more important things like faith and family and building an empire. You ever notice people who know how to manage their money, there's two things that you never see out of them. One, you never see them talking about it. Two, you never see them worrying about it. Because if you know how to split $1 down 4 ways and make it work for you, then you're guaranteed that your dollar broken down 4 different ways will bring you back a profit. And when you do it again, will bring you back another profit. The more profits you have, the more dollars you have to split and break down and to send out to make more. It's no different than the dope game. Started with a quarter, then you moved up to an eighth, then you moved up to a half, then you moved to a whole. Yeah, I know that business too. And you double. So just understand where your priorities are. They're not in finances.